Raise the roof. That's our topic for today's Backstage Pass. Well, happy Friday, everybody. I hope you've had a great week this week. Finally made it to Friday. Stocks and bonds have not had a great week so far this week. Stocks and bonds, again, today are both down. Stocks are down sharply. And like we said yesterday, today is not really a busy news day. Not a lot of economic news coming out. Not a lot of events happening today. So it's a quiet day. So mortgage bonds, so far today, they're down about 16 basis points. The 10-year yield is down about 1 basis point as well. And, you know, the topic of the day is raise the roof, and that's exactly what we don't want to have happen. That 3.49% ceiling on the 10-year yield has been a pretty strong ceiling. Today in the morning session, 10-year yield hit that ceiling and came back off. And so that's holding pretty steady, and that's exactly what we want it to do. We want that 10-year yield to hold steady underneath that 3.49% ceiling. Mortgage rates yesterday closed the day for the national average for the 30-year fix. They came in about 6.33%. Today, we're expecting that to be about 6.45%. That's kind of what we were thinking about yesterday, but we did have some repricing for the better throughout the day yesterday. Today, with bonds down again, we're expecting that 30-year national average for the 30-year fix to be about 6.45%. And again, we're watching very closely. We definitely want that 10-year yield ceiling of 3.49% to hold. We're hoping that it does, and possibly as we get into next week, we could possibly see a bounce back. We'll just wait and see what happens next week. Now, look, it's like we've talked about all week long. You know, focus is a choice. Positivity is a choice. It's easy and somewhat natural sometimes to focus on the negative things. It's important for us to understand what's going on in the market and understand how it affects, you know, our business and the economy and everything. But it's also important to not focus on that, to focus on the positive and control the things that we can control, our effort, our attitude, our mindset. In the words of Mateen Cleaves, keep your mind right and keep your grind tight. Good advice. You know, if you have a good mindset, you're going to, you know, put in that effort, you will be successful. Effort leads to success every time. And look, as we look to the future, you know, right now there's, if you watch the news on CNBC and things like that, there's, you know, some of the major corporation CEOs and banks are talking about the U.S. and the global economy slowing down sharply right now towards the end of third quarter. It's starting to slow down. And one thing we know for sure, as the Fed continues to do what they do, as they continue to fight against inflation, as the economy, the global economy slows down, we know that inflation is going to come down. And we do know that as inflation comes down, mortgage rates are going to come down as well. So, you know, one of the other sayings that you hear a lot is, you know, buy the house, marry the house, but date the rate. That's exactly what you need to do. So if you're in the market for, you know, purchasing a house, or if you need to get a cash out refi right now, it's okay. The rates are higher right now, but in a year, 2 years down the road, those rates are going to come back down. Perfect time to refinance later on down the road. So don't worry about the rate right now. Know that it's going to come back down. Marry the house, you know, get the cash out of your house that you need to consolidate debt, pay off bills, things like that. Marry the house, date the rate. The mortgage rate is going to come down as inflation comes down. Now, that's all the news that we have for today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Remember to stay positive, and we'll see you on Monday.